What's going on, guys? We are over on World Flipper today to take a look at one of the few units that came out recently on Global World Flipper that I just kept reading his skills over and over, and I was like, this guy seems so cool, and I just wanted to utilize what he does with poison, find people that could complement him, and then also complement off his skill damage effect, because we're going to take a look at what he does and what the team's all about. But he's a very interesting unit, and he is only a 4-star, but we're going to look at the team right now. We hop over and take a look at this team. Saar is a very interesting unit. If we take a look at Saar, Saar has a interesting leader ability, and he also has a way to make his team function around what he's doing with poison, and it was just so interesting. This is what made me want to build this team, as I thought I could craft something that could complement both parts of his leader skill and then also utilize his passive abilities. So we've got his leader ability of plus 60% to skill damage for water units. So right away, it's not super crazy skill damage, but he does have the skill damage leader skill portion to this text, and then followed by the plus 15% to total damage dealt against foes with poisoned active. What's interesting here is we have his ability 1, which is going to up his skill damage, so he himself is going to go up to that 110%. We've got 20% of damage for this unit dealt against poison active foes, and then the party gains immunity to poison, which is nice because you're going to be poisoning everything with this team. And then the third ability, when he's in that main slot, and this is what made him so interesting, is when he's that main unit, you're going to get plus 12% damage to water units dealt against poison foes. So his leader ability is giving that 60% skill damage and 15% total damage against foes with poison active. But if you're running a water-based team and the enemy is poisoned, you're now getting a bonus to attack against those poison foes as water units, and then you're getting that total damage up from the leader skill. So it's two things happening together that make this team work, and I want to show you guys the rest of it. So we have Saar as the lead, and he is going to be poisoning people. Actually, I'm going to go back here. So Saar's ulti is going to be inflicting water damage and poison on foes. So keep that in mind. So that's one person that inflicts poison. We have Suizen's ulti. We have the inflicting water damage and poison nearby foes. So that's 2 that are now poisoning. And we have Keylos, and Keylos's is going to be shooting the arrows forward. He's going to be doing water damage and inflicting poison. So now that's 3 people that are all going to be putting poison on. And every time that a different unit activates poison, when you guys watch this run at the end of this video, you'll see that the poison will stack. So they'll get multiple poison counters on the boss. We have 3 water-based ways of generating poison, so they're going to be benefiting both from Saar's effects here. If we look at Suizen one more time and we go down to Suizen's abilities, Suizen says for that ability 3, when this unit is a main unit, plus 12.5% to damage for water units dealt against poison foes. That ability 3 is going to be when this unit is a main unit, 12.5 damage for water units to poison foes. And we just read that over on Saar. So now we have Saar and Suizen have 2 main slot abilities that are now complementing each other, because we are getting these attack and extra damage up. So this is just adding on to Saar's leader skill. You're getting that up damage total dealt to poison units. Suizen's just water, but this is a water-based team. So that is now complementing Saar's leader ability and his main ability as well. So we can also take a look here at Keylos. I want to point out that Suizen also gets 90% to poison damage for this unit, so his poison damage will actually go up based on his own ability. We look at Keylos here, we go down to his abilities. We've got 50% poison damage for this unit, so Keylos is also upping his own poison damage. We've got this unit gains immunity, which is okay because Saar already is giving us immunity. Then we have 10% damage dealt against foes with poison active. So now there's this theme going on. We've got all of these units, when poison is active, they're now going to be doing a lot more damage, which is how the whole gear and function of this team work. We have the poison going. Poison damage is up. We're doing more damage against those poison foes, but what's the key part here is doing extra damage against poison foes is, it's okay. You're going to do more damage. They're going to do more direct attacks. You can power flip a little harder, but the fact that Saar, we go back and take a look at Saar's leader skill, gives skill damage is the key with NyEllya as to why this all pulls together so well. So we have all of this damage up against poison foes. So when we poison the enemy, we also have this bonus to skill damage. So we go over to NyEllya. A lot of you may know what she does, but if you don't, NyEllya is getting bonuses based on skills being activated. Her ability 1 is giving attack up and skill gauge up when a skill goes off. Her ability 2 is going to give her extra attack based on combos, but her ability 3 is when a skill is activated by a water unit, you're going to get 20% extra skill damage to the unit to a maximum of 100%. And you're also going to get 10% to the skill gauge. So with Saar's leader ability, plus Ellya's boosting her own skill damage, and you have the poison effect applied, and you're now increasing the damage dealt with poison, you're going to be doing kind of like a DOT damage over time with this poison. The boss's HP is going to start dropping. You're going to naturally start doing more damage when the poison is up, and then NyEllya is going to slowly stack up her passive abilities, and she's going to activate her skill, and it's going to just nuke the bosses or whatever you're fighting that have poison procced on it. It's such like a perfect unison build up here that it makes it work so well. We also have Liesel in the back to keep the team healthy and apply that attack buff with her ulti, and Vyron does Vyron things. At the beginning of me doing World Flipper videos, I was like, if I could put Vyron on a team, I would do it. I love him, and Rolf is coming, and they can be ran together. And it's gonna be amazing. We've got just more Vyron content happening. So that is why he is on a lot of my teams. You can replace him with a Dill. A Dill functions relatively the same way, but if you do have the Vyron, it is more optimal to throw him there on the team. And for the weapons, we have the Spear of Okeanos on Saar, because with the Spear of Okeanos here and the fact that Liesel is providing attack, we have Vyron providing attack. When attack buffs are up, the attack is going to increase for the party of water units. And then we have the Habakiri on Suizen, because I'm not too concerned about doing damage with Suizen. I just want to get the poison. That is like literally the poison column. And then we have the L-Tide staff on Ellya and 3 L-Tide staff souls. So I want to show you guys how this team went in a Necropolis run. It's so much fun for me making teams like this, teams that nobody's really doing or recommending. It's just become a thing that I enjoy doing. And I know for a fact that poison gets much, much better in the future. And this is something I wouldn't really say or recommend to build, but if you just want to mess around and have fun, this team's a blast. I'm going to show you guys the run though, so we're going to hop over and take a look at it. All right guys, we have the team up here on that level 70 Necropolis. We're going to hop into the run, show you guys how it works, the craziness that is this Saar poison team. I do want to point out though that you are not going to have your ultis popping off right at the beginning of this. You're going to be building up your skill gauges to do this kind of crescendo of damage, and that's why I have Liesel on the team to heal back this shift damage you're taking at this initial beginning buildup. It is something that I tested with teams going in and using someone to boost skill gauges right away, but it never worked out the way I wanted it to, and so we're going to activate ultis, get the poison damage up, and then the damage is just going to start increasing like crazy. Boss is going to start shredding, and then even when you're not hitting them in this team, the poison is doing damage over time, which is really nice. You're always doing damage with poison up. If you're not hitting them, even when you're falling back down to the flippers, you're still hitting the boss. So a nice way to consistently apply damage and pressure. But for the way that this team is working and how these ultis all complement each other, I could not be happier. I mean, I did not expect it. I expected this team to go into like one floor and just get absolutely destroyed, but it's working so much better than I ever hoped. So we're going to clear up that second stage, hop into the third stage. The HP does fluctuate. It's not going to stay like 100% super healthy, but you are going to heal up with Liesel and with the poison damage active. And then we have the 3 poison procs, and then we have NyEllya coming up here. It's just going to do a little bit of bursty nuke damage. So if you want to run some kind of water poison based team because that's just your jam, or you think Saar it blew him up, this is the fun team to do that with. 3 minutes and 44 seconds, and it clears it under 4 minutes. So we're just destroying these Necropolis runs with these wonky teams, and it is very fun to see. There are so many teams that are just so off build, off meta that I want to put together, and to be able to craft teams like this and see these results with units that people say don't touch those, don't use those right now, wait till they get better. It's like being able to make them work now. It's so satisfying having just results like this. So I do appreciate you guys stopping by and watching this. It means the world to me, watching me play these wonky world flipper comps. So if you're new here, looking forward to more world flipper content, more wonky teams, just off meta stuff just like this, hit that sub button. And guys, if you hit that thumbs up, it'll help bring my rates up. Peace, guys.